Hey everyone, Sean here, and once again we are doing a rapid fire sort of style for another movie to review. Today we're going to be talking about Raya and the Last Dragon. This was out a while back, I think, as a free movie at this point, well, quote unquote free, on Disney Plus. Previously, it was on Premiere Access for those who wanted to see it during the premiere, during like theater release and what have you. I think this was back in March or something like that, or just during summer, early summer, late springish, that sort of thing. For Raya and the Last Dragon. Anyway, I was able to catch this recently and wanted to quickly express my thoughts about it, for the movie. I think overall the movie was okay. I kind of don't understand the sort of the outrage there was within, I guess, the community or something like that. There are certain like YouTube channels that like were very sort of expressive about their negative opinions about it. Let's just say, or angry, but let's just put it that way, about the movie. At the time, I just didn't like care about it, only because I didn't have any access to it. Funny enough, or nor I was willing to give my money to go watch the movie. $30 on Disney Plus. Just from the looks of it, it didn't warrant the purchase. So I was willing to wait, or was waiting for someone to watch it. But after watching it though, I kind of don't understand like the anger, but I do understand like the overall sort of negativity, like the what do you like the critiques or criticisms on the story. The story itself, I think, is probably the weakest point of this whole movie. Everything else was fine. The graphics, like the art direction, the visuals, right, were beautiful. Obviously, it meets today's standards. It was very colorful, very much for the kids, for them to like just watch or look or stare into the movie. Like it was quite a visual spectacle, eye candy, and I always that's something I always do appreciate. Another movie like Luca, for example, very vivid on the colors. I did enjoy that movie just from that alone as well. I also enjoyed some of the characters. Tong was definitely my favorite out of the whole thing. I think the baby was a little like, like I kind of get it. Like she kind of gave off like those like boss baby vibes, so I didn't really care for the baby all that much. Like I get it, everyone has like some sort of like loss in the movie, because of the sort of circumstances that took place during the early part of the movie, or just the overall story in general, or the world that takes place in The Last Dragon. My only other major gripe as well is the design on the dragons. I think they could have done a little better on that, at least just a little bit. My friends commented that they look like something that came out of DeviantArt or something like that, which is something I do see. I understand where they're coming from. To me, they kind of look like something from like like the My Little Pony dragons. Like I think there are dragons within that show as well. So that's what they kind of remind me of. I mean, I get it. They're supposed to be friendly towards the kids, like visually, and I think that also serves a purpose for the manufacturing for like merchandise, to make it easier for like to produce these and stuff like that. For when it comes to like the facial stuff, like the facial features of those dragons. But otherwise, yeah, they all like kind of look the same, honestly, and that's what kind of bothers me the most. Like if it was just Sisu, which is the last dragon, if she was the only one that looked like that, then that's okay. I mean, I get it. That's like the main character's type of dragon. You gotta make it a little friendly, and everyone else has their like sort of unique look to them. Like one can look mean, like can look like a little more of like neutral or like in the middle ground or like something towards that. You know what I mean? Like more variety of dragons in design could have been really nice, but we definitely did not get that here. Like to me, I felt like all the dragons kind of looked the same, pretty much, especially in terms of facial features, the shapes and everything. Like they all kind of meld in with each other, So that's my other little like, well, not little but major gripe for the movie as well. Back onto the story though. What I meant was the writing, the sort of the overall theme of the writing, or excuse me, the story, which is trust. Of course, trust itself is fine, but the way it was executed was what was done very poorly. There's also things that don't seem to feel right. You know what I mean? So there are a bunch of characters that do bad things because, well, that plays with the trust issues, right? There's a lot of like you can't trust these people, and then these people are portrayed to be kind of assholes in the movie. Even villainous to that point. And at the end of it, those characters, bit of a spoiler, I guess, don't really suffer the consequences. They don't hold any accountability for themselves. They don't come forward and be like yeah, I mean, I did this, and that and stuff like that. Like there's some stuff that like you would need to come forward for, let's just put it that way. And that's what kind of like takes me out of the realm of believability for this movie. So that's why I feel that and then a lot of the elements within the writing too is just kind of like makes this movie overall like okay or decent at best. And yeah, so by the end of it, it's like, okay, yeah, it's like a happy ending, but I feel like the happy ending wasn't earned for, well, everyone. There's some parts of the trust thing that I do believe worked, especially between Raya and Imara or whatever her name was, the other female character. But everything else around it, the overall execution with the whole trust issues thing was just like it could have been done so much better. So, of course, with story being very important in these movies, right? Everything else was kind of firing on all their cylinders, right? The voice acting was good, the character designs were good. Although some of them do come out straight from like Frozen or something like that, like the facial features, right? The dark skin, obviously not, but otherwise, I like the characters themselves. I like especially like I said, like Tong was really funny. I liked his presence on the screen. Boone was pretty cool. The young boat captain, I guess. Raya herself was, or not Raya herself. I actually didn't feel too different. I like the weapon that she wielded, which is from her father. It's like the snake sword or whatever. Like it's basically Ivy's weapon from Soul Calibur. I thought that was really cool. Like the uses of that weapon were really, really cool. That's I guess that's a plus from that movie. The Sisu herself, I thought was okay. Again, like a number of the things that from the movie you see are okay, So overall though, this was supposed to be like the next big Disney movie, right? And the main line. I thought overall it just turned out okay. It's not like it doesn't live up to like Aladdin or stuff like that. Even if the bias does come in, I think overall, it just doesn't live up to that sort of standards for me, and it just turned out okay. Again, the visuals were good, a lot of colors, Some of the character designs were a little weak, mostly on the dragons. That's pretty much it. Some people were criticizing it for the lack of actual like southeastern Asian voice actors. Like a lot of them were kind of like all over the place. But that, to me, that's not the biggest issue here. I don't think it's the biggest issue here is, well, the quality of the story itself and a lot of the elements within it. So of course, the whole trust issue thing and just trust in general is just lopsided. I think pretty much that's like the best way to describe it, without going into it too much for the sake of not spoiling things. Which I'm not gonna go into. I think this is just a movie that's just turned out okay or decent at the very best. So with that, I think I'm gonna give. Oh yeah, and the music was great. So that's pretty much the other thing as well, other redeeming factor as well. Let's just say that overall, I would give it a 6 out of 10, which is above average still, but most of those points deducted does come from, well, the quality of the story. So when in the whole trust issue thing and in the execution of the theme overall for the story, trust. Very, very big thing. So overall, and of course, the character designing could have been better and all that. So I think that's what my 2 cents are very much with the movie. So that's it for my review on Raya and the Last Dragon. Overall, I'm glad I didn't put my $30 down for this movie, and the waiting kind of paid off in a way, and the movie turned out to be decent at best. So, but again, that's just all my opinion. If you want to share your opinions, don't forget to drop that in the comment section below. I'd love to check them out, and hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. Really helps out. Really appreciate you guys, because it definitely is very helpful. So this has been my review for Raya and the Last Dragon, and in that rapid fire style of review. So thank you guys very much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao now.